On the evening of September the 16th, 2008, 49-year-old Michael Garland went for a jog at Northwest 152nd Street and 18th Avenue near Rainbow Park Elementary School. He never made it home. Here's the story.
My brother, Michael Anthony Garland, was a terrific guy. From the moment he was a kid, he was always approachable, always helpful, always to lend a helping hand, a listening ear. In the neighborhood, he was a kid everyone wanted to play with. And he just had that air about himself that made you want to know him even if you didn't know him. He was a short guy and I was always taller than him, and the moment we hit middle school, he shot up to over 6 feet. He was on the basketball team. He also played basketball in college. Basketball fanatic, Michael Jordan look-alike. And he had the clothes, memorabilia, everything with MJ. MG had it. Terrific guy, terrific sportsman, terrific person.
You know, in the summertime, most of the kids, just sleep in and relax. I had to get up 4:30 in the morning and go to work with him. Teaching me how to be a man at an early stage. At first I was mad, but then I understood what he was trying to do. And I always told him, I thank you for that, because I could have been out in the streets getting caught up doing the wrong thing or being in the bed doing nothing. But he was showing me how to make a living for myself, and I really appreciate that.
Everyone came to Michael for everything. If there's peace that needed to be kept, we call Mike. Any suggestions, we call Mike. Road trip, we're calling Mike. Compassionate, caring, strong. He was always my hero, and that's how I always look up to him as my hero.
We did everything together. When you saw me, you saw him. We went to the gym, working out together. And you name it, son and dad did it. We actually went on a double date together. That was kind of crazy. Who goes on a double date with their dad? But it was, it was different. I enjoyed it. It was cool. He was a wonderful dad.
He was a bus driver for Broward County Transit, and his passengers loved him. There were passengers that didn't have the fare to get on. He said, don't worry about it, let's just ride. I don't even have to hear a story, come on, let's go. And after his passing, we heard so many stories from so many people that we didn't know of the kindness that he had showed them, and we had no idea that it had extended to that level.
On Tuesday, September 16, 2008, at approximately 8 p.m., Michael Garland, a 49-year-old male, was jogging in the neighborhood in the area of 1840 Northwest 152nd Terrace. Michael Garland had a fitness routine, and on that particular day, he opted to go for a jog around the neighborhood. The area where Michael Garland was jogging, there was a school located on the north side of 152nd Terrace, and there is also a daycare located on the south side of 152nd Terrace. During the course of the investigation, we learned that there were several people or kids playing basketball directly across the street from where Mr. Garland was fatally shot.
We believe as Michael jogged several times around the school, his killers watched from the basketball courts. On one of his laps, they approached the gate opening directly across from the daycare center and waited for their target.
As he was jogging eastbound on the sidewalk area, he was approached by either an individual or several individuals. One of the suspects furnished a handgun, at which point Michael Garland attempted to gain some distance between the assailants and himself in order to defuse the situation. And he crossed to the south side of the street, and in the process, one of the assailants shot him in the back, at which point Mr. Garland collapsed on the floor and the assailants fled the area. Uniformed officers were dispatched to the area. Upon their arrival, they found Mr. Garland laying on the ground. Fire rescue also responded, and they transported him to Jackson Memorial Hospital Ryder Trauma Center. Upon his arrival at the hospital, he expired.
We went to the trauma center thinking that we were going to see him, and these people come out and tell us that he had been murdered. He hadn't survived this ordeal. You got to be kidding. You cannot comprehend. We just talked, and no one was comprehending this. Everyone was in a daze, a nightmare, like this wasn't real.
It's kind of unheard of, it's like a man that goes to work, every day, come home, And even if a person would try to have a confrontation with him, he didn't want no confrontation.
We don't have any reason to believe that Michael Garland had any enemies. He comes from a loving family. His whole entire family are very respectable individuals.
There's so much more to life, and that's what I learned about him. To deal with petty stuff, stupid things. We never know when it's going to be our last day here on earth. He cherished every moment like it was his last.
It's possible that either one or several of the assailants fled on foot westbound on Northwest 152nd Terrace. There were several kids or juveniles playing basketball in the basketball court located just north of where the incident had occurred. We're hoping that maybe the parents that live in the neighborhood and who have children who frequent the basketball court area, if they would be willing to take a moment of their time and talk to their children in reference to this incident, and maybe their children have been a little bit reserved to give that information because they haven't been asked.
Of course they have the no snitch thing that's going on, but does it have to happen to your dad for you to say, okay, now, I want to talk about this?
Too many families are hurting. It's too devastating. You're talking about a guy that did not deserve this. This night he decided he was not going to go to the gym. He would just walk around the schoolyard. Why would someone want to come and take his life? For what reason? You cannot even walk in your own community. And because of this, me personally, I'm still stuck on September 16, 2008. I tried to go forward, but I have no reasoning, no understanding. We hear that people in the community know, but people are afraid to say anything. It hurts like hell. He was such against violence. He never, ever would do anything confrontational to anyone. So why would you want to hurt him? What had he done to you? It doesn't make you a man. It doesn't make you big. You're destroying yourself, you're destroying families, you're hurting others.